It is time to go live. My name is Desmond Clark, and I am the host of Principles of Winning. And today at 12 p.m., we will be dropping another episode of Principles of Winning. I had the wonderful opportunity to go out and interview my man, Don Fitzgerald. He's my friend now, so I can call him Fitz. I interviewed Fitz and man, what a wonderful interview where he was talking about his principles of winning. But every Wednesday we come down and we break down a clip from the entire interview that will be dropping later on today, which I say is at 12 o'clock. You guys have the youtube.com at Principles of Winning. Go there to watch this. I'm telling you, man, it is a wonderful interview, and you can gain a lot of nuggets just to add to your arsenal of mindsets, principles, habits for you to win on a daily basis. That's what we do it for. But with no further ado, let's talk about the clip that we're going to break down today. And it's all about you. We hear this all the time, man. You got to put in the work to be successful. Everybody says that. Everybody knows that. But when we say that, what does that really mean? I feel like a lot of times we as people, we get into these generalizations of, what is it going to take to get over the hump, to be successful, to conquer, to whatever it is that we're trying to establish or we're trying to achieve. We use these big bucket kind of just generalized statements, and we really don't get down into the nitty gritty of things. And I believe sometimes that's what hold us back. But my man Fitz said, hey, we have to do the work to be successful. And it got me to thinking, what is the work? And then he went on to say, it's more about being prepared. So this week's episode is about doing the work of preparation. Let's play a couple clips from this week's episode to get us ready for what we're going to talk about today.
You've got to put in the work if you want to really be successful. So I think that has been critical. Sure, there's some quote overnight success stories, but you know as well as I do, the people that are successful have put in a lot of work. Or you were also, in the dairy case that you're working, I wanted everything to look perfect. Again, not to be a hero, but to avoid being embarrassed. And I think over time, as you work on those disciplines, and then you begin to realize, well, that introversion has kind of created a strength now in me that I can leverage. That being prepared, more prepared. Well, life in a lot of ways, there's a lot of competition, right? And that preparedness, discipline helped me maybe differentiate myself a little bit from others who didn't.
Boom, there we go. Doing the work. And what's the work? It's the work of being prepared. So, man, I took some notes. I love this conversation. The work of being prepared, and the world that I live in, the world which I come from, and playing sports and being an entrepreneur, preparedness really is the key ingredient to winning. And I want to break down three different components of this. Understanding the foundation of the true meaning of my true meaning of being prepared, of preparation. And then number two, the components of effective preparation, and breaking down that process. And then the last one, I'm big on mindset, the mindset of preparation, and cultivating that discipline and resilience. So as I look at my notes here, the first thing that comes about is this: just what is the meaning of being prepared? And as I was looking this up, here's what I come to. It is to make ready beforehand. Being prepared, doing the work of preparation, being ready beforehand. And you got to understand, well, before I get into that, let me go down here. So why does being prepared matters? It matters because it allows us as individuals, as teams, to really understand the challenges, to gather the necessary resources, to develop the skills that are needed in order to step into whatever it is that we're trying to step into, trying to achieve. So, like I talk to my son a lot about doing the work, getting prepared. He says he want to be a good football player. He says he want to be a good student, He say he want to be good at Fortnite. Well, there's a lot of preparation that goes into that before you can actually put it on display. And that's what we're talking about, the preparation to make ready beforehand. To make ready beforehand. That's what we have to do. So that's understanding the foundation and the meaning of preparation. Here are the different components of effective preparation. Breaking down that process. The first thing that we have to do is set the goal. Set the goal. Because without a clear target, we don't know what we're preparing for. I want to give the example of something that I have coming up in August. I have this team development, leadership development opportunity that with a casino out in New Mexico, the Isleta Casino. And the first thing that we had to do was to define the goal. What are we trying to accomplish? And they want to accomplish being the number one casino in Albuquerque, in New Mexico. So without that clear target, we don't know what we're preparing for. So sorry about that. We got to understand what we're preparing for. So once we get that, we know that. So now we got to do the planning and research. Well, if we want to be number one, what is it going to take for us to be number one? What is that going to take for us to be the number one? What type of gains do we need to make? First of all, where are we at? And I knew when I started working with this casino is that they were 14 points behind being number one. The number one casino held 42% share. They held a 28% share. Now they have climbed and closed that gap a little bit, but how do we now plan on closing that gap? So that's the next thing of that process of preparation, doing the work. Now, how do we plan and close that gap? And the third component of the effective preparation and breaking down this process is this: the practice and rehearsal. As we practice, as we understand what we have to do, now do we practice that? Do we rehearse it? Do we come back to it time and time again? Because there are 5 components that I know that we have to be great at. We have to be great at trusting each other. We have to be great at great conflict resolution because of the diversity that we have on that staff. We have to be great with getting commitment and buy-in. We have to be great with accountability, not just from the bosses or the C-level, but amongst each other within this team that we have at Isleta. And then we have to focus on the results. And then how do we prepare and rehearse? Prepare and rehearse. Prepare and rehearse consistently. That's doing the work. And doing the work is doing the work of preparation. That's what that means. And then lastly, the mindset of preparation. How do we cultivate the disciplines and resilience of having the mindset of preparation? So the first thing I have here is a commit to consistency. How quickly are we going to check in? I mean, on what cadence are we going to check in? Are we going to check in every week? Are we going to check in every month? How are we going to do this to make sure that we're committed to consistency? Because all you guys know, that process of greatness that I live by is this: executing the details in excellence consistently over time. So we have to commit to consistency. And here's one that we really have to focus on is embracing failure as part of this journey. We're not going to just go the next 2 years, 3 years to get to number one and not have some failures where we have to go back and reiterate, and where we have to go back and drill and practice and deploy and then refine and then come back and reiterate so we can be better. And that's what we have to do as individuals also. We have to embrace failure as part of that process. And then the last thing for the mindset of preparation is building the resilience and confidence. And as we continue to go through these steps of goal setting, planning, research, practice, rehearsal, that commitment and consistency of going and doing it over and over again, the drill, the practice, the deployment, the refining, the reiterating, and then come back and knowing that failure is going to be part of it. We build resilience, we build confidence in that because we continue to do it. We continue to have that experience. And as we get more experience, and we gain more knowledge and understanding and wisdom about the work that we're doing and the preparation that we are doing. Now we're putting ourselves in position to walk into whatever that goal is. So let's just break that down one more time. We hear people all the time say, we got to do the work. You got to do the work to be successful. Okay, but what does that mean? I believe doing the work to be successful is all in the preparation and understanding what preparation means. Preparation means to make ready beforehand. We got to do the work back here before we can see the manifestation here. And then preparation matters because of this. It sets the stage for success by allowing us to understand the challenges that lie ahead of us. And you guys know my definition of win is this: to gain and succeed through struggle. And if we can see the struggle and we can prepare for the struggle, if we could build our skills for the struggle and overcome that struggle, now we get to that next level. And the components of effective preparation is this: goal setting. We got a goal set. Then we got to do our planning and research. And after we do our planning and research, we got to practice and rehearse to build our skills to get to that goal. And the mindset of it is commit to the consistency of the drill, the practice, the planning, the deployment, the refinement, and the reiteration of it, because there's going to be mistakes. There's going to be losses. There's going to be times where we fail. That's just part of it. And we embrace that. And then we build that resiliency and that confidence through all of those different steps. So what my man Dunn was saying, he was saying this: if you want to be successful, you got to do the work. What's doing the work? The work is the preparation. Prepare for success. And go and check out this entire episode where Dunn, my man Fitz, he's just dropping knowledge that you guys can use. It can be useful and valuable for you. Go check it out. You guys see it right there, www.youtube.com/@Principles of Winning. Go check it out. I appreciate each and one of you, and we'll be seeing you next Wednesday, same time, same place. Principles of Winning. I am the host, Desmond Clark. Love you guys.